Buongiorno. We are releasing our back. This is an amazing stretch and release relaxation after like a long journey or a long day of work, or even after a short journey and a short day of work. Anytime you need to mobilize your back a little. Start in that very weird figure 4 position. We're crossing the ankle over the opposite knee and then interlacing the fingers, pushing them forward into round back, lifting up into chest extension and then circling the arms back down. And you simply stay down there in this figure 4 stretch, and it might look simple, but it is not. Hey! And we're changing sides. So cross the other ankle over and see if you can manage this back mobilization and strength now. So keep the ankle on the opposite knee, round the back, folding forward, and then lifting up, opening the chest. This is at the same time a good warm-up and a glute stretch. So we get our back, the base of our back, relaxed to start with. And release, very nice. Simple mobilization exercise you can basically do anywhere, even at work. You just need to go into, go to the toilet, do some roll-ups and downs to get your back a little bit loosened up. So we're starting with the knees bent and then pull the navel in, chin to the chest, rolling each vertebra down, relaxing the shoulders, letting the arms go. You can let them go even more than I do. I'm kind of holding them here. So roll up and then open the chest, pick the chin up at the end. Very nice. Advanced version would be with the knees straight. And when you do that, don't overstretch, don't overcontract your glutes or your quads because you're a bit stressed about falling forward. Still get the weight of your body slightly in front of your ankle joint, so slightly behind the middle of your foot, evenly distributed on your heels and the inner and outer big toe mount. Still rolling up one last time, coming up, pulling the navel in, lifting, tailbone pushing down, crown of the head pushing up. Very nice. We're opening into warrior position. And now we're thinking length into that side stretch. So one foot is showing to the side, the other foot is pointing in 45 degrees. And we're now pushing the opposite hand to the knee that's bending. Knee comes over the ankle and then flipping the elbow open. You can follow the elbow with your gaze. So you're starting by looking down when you're pushing to the side and then looking up. Looking up also allows you to come deeper into that rotation, so you're not falling forward into the middle, but you stay with the shoulders over the bent knee. Try on the other side. Same thing, one foot is pointed out, the other one slightly pointed in, 45 degrees. And are you ready? Here we go. Ready now? Yes. Here we go. So push the hand to the side, lifting the elbow up, looking under your armpit and coming back into standing. The reason why we do this funky arm exercise is to open the arm line all together with the side line. So flexing the hand already releases the muscles in our forearms, and then opening into that big shoulder opening. This is an outward rotation in the shoulder, counteracts all this work that we do in front of our bodies. For example, sitting at the computer and working the mouse and the keyboard. Little easier version of that, so you can start to relax. You now know the drill with the hand. The palm is flexing, pushing to one side and then opening the elbow all the way up to the ceiling. This time we're simply crossing the same leg backwards. And little tip, try to keep standing on the front leg, the one that's not crossing, on the stable leg. So that should be your stable leg, while the other is basically pushing through and pushing to the side as much as possible. You want to bring length between your heel and the crown of your hand and your elbow and your pinky finger. Pull those elbows out of the shoulder. Imagining your elbow is pulled out of the shoulder. Very nice. Come again into a warrior position. This time the hands do nothing. They just stay with the palms open towards the sky. But we come again into that side warrior position. And then side leaning until your hand touches the ground. One hand touches the ground, one hand touches the sky. And coming back. Here we're lengthening and strengthening at the same time the side body. And that might lead to some cricks and cracks in your back, so be gentle here. This is kind of a big stretch. You can add the head into the movement, looking left and right and up and down, just so your neck gets a little bit of a release as well. Change sides, try the other one. Again, arms do nothing but stay there with the shoulder opened, outward rotation. So your biceps is turning towards the sky, the inner forearm is turned towards the sky, and the palm of your hand is also turned towards the sky, thumbs are pointing backwards. Then shift over to one side, side warrior position. Touch the ground with the lower hand. And first come back to center and then push back up into standing. Fantastic. You might need a break after all this standing, so we are ready to go onto the ground. Come into all fours position. And here we go into one of the easiest and greatest spine stretches, where we're working with the breath. We're exhaling, rounding the back, inhaling, releasing. And you can do this as slow as you want. So if my rhythm is making you hyperventilate, then just do it slightly slower. So exhale, navel pulls in, rounding the back as much as you can, inhaling, releasing. Do this as slow as you want. Very nice. Now focus on your tailbone, your sitting bones, and make them move down towards the floor and release them back up to the sky or ceiling. Same with the crown of the head. Crown of the head is pulling down to the floor and releasing back up to the ceiling. Very gentle. Gearing up a little bit. We're coming into all fours now, pushing the hips backwards. We're anchoring our toe mounts under, anchoring the hands, and simply rolling forward. So that same rolling motion, we're exhaling, rolling forward, and inhale, push the hips back. You can stay in that same meditative breathing rhythm. Steady, even breath, aligning the breathing with the movement, inhaling, pushing backwards, exhaling, rolling forward, like the waves of that amazing ocean that we're having as a background here. Last time, pushing back, very nice. And then stay in child. Arrange your hand and feet and knee position so that you can stay in that spider position with the weight of the arms on your fingertips and the arms straight, so we're getting a shoulder opener. And this is a great position, but I never know where to put the nose, so the nose towards the ground might lead to the nose being compressed. But what's really great to do is to put the head onto one ear first and then onto the other ear. Now experiment if you can go a little bit further with the arms, so maybe that your hips are above your knees, to really let the spine hang forward. It's like hanging from your hips now, and if you want to, also to avoid your nose being compressed, start to alternate looking left and right, pressing one shoulder down, looking under one armpit and then the other, still staying in that spider hand position if you still can. At some point you might want to put the hands down, but having the hands slightly elevated or the wrists here allows you to open the shoulder even more. Now if you go further forward, you might have to bring the hands down unless you are able to do push-ups on your fingertips. If you can, you're my hero. Otherwise, just come down with the palms of the hands, spread the fingers slightly, push the mound of the index finger into the ground and shift the weight left and right. A little bit of a mobilization. Try to feel what's good, what feels good, where it needs space, where it is a little bit tight. Try to open that up, breathe into those spaces, and then lie on your back. This is the lazy workout. So we're simply having our hands in T position, back of the hand on the floor on the sand, knees bent, 90 degrees, and then let those knees drop to one side and then to the other. To allow your back to turn a little bit more natural, open the feet, you could say mat width. If you don't have a mat you're lying on, like double hip width apart, so like 50 centimeters, so that when your knees drop, you're not having this very small angle, but a little bit of a bigger angle. Try it, it's much nicer. And you can add, if you want to, a little bit more of a pull on the upper hip. This is when you're on one side with both knees, you kick that foot out. This is optional. If you want to stay and just swing the legs left and right and get into kind of a trance here, make sure that the head goes in the opposite direction. And you decide if you kick out or if you don't. I believe in you that you choose the right option for you. Make sure to relax the head, relax the shoulders, and keep a very gentle and steady rhythm. When you're kicking, you can also go into a little bit of a hamstring stretch, but we're going to have a hamstring stretch later anyhow. A little more of a lying stretch here. Come into one side position, hips and knees 90 degrees, and then start with both hands one on top of the other. And then now simply turn the upper body, so the knees stay stable and fixed. And we're just turning the shoulders. Now you might need a little bit of cushioning under your head, so like a folded towel, or if you have a small, not too high cushion, so that your head can actually turn around its center. Again, do whatever feels good to you. But I would like to rotate the whole spine here, so that would include the head. And if you feel like it and if you can, you don't even need to lift the hand overhead. You can drag it around in a circle behind the head and drag it all the way back to the hands. And the third option would be Again, to kick out, this time stable. And the luxury version, of course, would be to have that foot lying on something like a book, a small stool, or anything. So you don't need to hold the leg. So that would be another option. Kicking the leg out, but then putting it onto something. And there we go. Change the side. Simply flip the knees over. You don't need to change sides. I just did that so you can watch better what I'm doing. Flip the knees over. Again, start shoulders on top of each other, both palms connected, and then open the arms. And you can go straight away to the version where you're letting the arms circle behind the head, if that is an option. If you have very sticky floor or not the space, then of course don't do it, and just try to release that upper shoulder, that arm that needs to work a little, and not make it like a workout and open, but imagine that arm is floating through clouds or through very light water. Pull the elbow out of the shoulder to release the shoulder joint, creating space in the shoulder joint. Elbow points out and pulls out of the shoulder. And last option, if you want to, ideally with something you can put this foot on. Otherwise, just kick it out so the upper leg kicks out 90 degrees to the upper body. This basically is fixing the hips one on top of another a little better than just having the knees bend and one on top of another. Having something to put the foot on would be super ideal, but not necessary. Roll onto your back. I promised some hamstring stretches. We're doing an active stretch. So I always think passive stretches are great. Sometimes you just need to hang in there, but active stretches I think are more efficient, more effective. So lie on your back, shoulders relaxed, back of the head long, and then grab the back of your thigh, bend the knee, flex the foot, keep the foot flexed, stretch the leg out, point the foot, flex the foot again, bend the knee, pull the knee towards the chest, then stretch the leg out, point the foot, stretch again. And now every time you do that, especially when stretching the leg out, foot is still flexed, try to push the heel further out and pull a little bit more. The other leg is straight on the floor, pushing the heel out, giving your body the impression you're actually standing. And then change sides. Start gentle. This side hasn't gotten any stretching yet. So you're grabbing the back of your thigh, pulling the knee towards the chest, flex the foot. Keep the foot flexed, stretch first, then point the foot. Flex the foot first and then bend the knee. Keep the foot flexed, stretch, point. Flex again, keep flexed, bend and stretch. Let the arms work a little, but pull the shoulder blades towards the spine and allow the shoulders to be away from your ears. Again, the ground leg, if possible, is stretched out, and push into the heel, flexing the ground foot here, giving your body the impression, I'm not saying illusion, the impression you are standing, keeping a little space in your lower back, little lumbar curve here. And we're finishing with the funny, a little bit childish, but hey, who cares? Rolling like a ball, spine massage. So we're starting on our sitting bones. Balance first on your sitting bones, lifting the feet, and then come out of balance, fall back, and then engage the feet, and swing back forward. So rolling back is more like falling back over your sitting bones, and then you're just using the legs to swing back forward. So you can stretch the leg a little bit more out when you're falling backwards, and then flexing them, bending them back in when you're coming forward. It's like swinging, like a swing, like when you're sitting on a swing. You stretch the legs out, you bend the legs in. And the challenge that you might want to do, if you want to have a bit more of a challenge, is to balance every time you come back forward on your sitting bones. So have a little bit of a 1, 2, 3 second pause when you're coming back up onto your sitting bones. Pilates would then clap with the feet and do like a 1, 2, 3 clap with the feet together, but you don't need to do that. Balancing would be great on the sitting bones, stretching the back out a little bit, and then don't forget to round the back unless done you are not falling. Hope you enjoyed that. Keep going as much as you like. Share it with your loved ones, and I'll see you next time.
Yes, I